Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, the top 4 places to learn about success.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
Hey, good to see you here. We're in the middle of a 10-part series about lifelong learning.
And so far, we've covered the 3 R's you learned in school.
R's.
Yes, the 3 R's of big success. And you can find links to all of these previous shows with your show notes today.
And what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about the 4 great places to learn how to reach big success. Can't wait. I'm the Professor George.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. And today's episode is made possible by Kindle Unlimited, where lifelong learning is unlimited. With the Kindle Unlimited plan, you get access to over 1 million titles, which include ebooks, audiobooks, and magazines. Learn more at bigsuccess.com/Kindle.
Success is something that we all crave, but sometimes we have a hard time achieving it. Why is this? Well, it's because we often don't know where to look for it.
We're given all kinds of advice as to where to find it, you know, through networking, reading books, and working hard. But those are just a few of the many places where success can be found.
That's why today we're going to share some other, more overlooked places to find big success.
Big with 2 G's. Let's pull out the professor's whiteboard for the top 4 places to learn about success.
I'll tell you what I learned, Mary-Lynn. I learned not to open that closet door.
I'll tell you what I learned, that success is not in that closet and in your organizing of that closet.
Apparently so.
Okay, so the top 4 places to learn about success. Number 1, learn from the success of others.
I love learning this way. You know why? Because I don't have to make the mistakes.
That's a good one.
There's nothing better than learning or hearing or reading someone's success story. And I always come away informed and inspired.
Yeah, and I find it amazing how everyone, and I mean everyone, goes over speed bumps on the way.
Absolutely.
Nobody is immune to that. And so I personally love to hear how they've overcome those challenges, because that helps motivate me and gives me ammunition for the bumps that come along our path.
And you know, some of the people that talk to my class, I've heard their story probably 25 times or more.
Right. And Professor, for those of you new to the podcast, Professor teaches an entrepreneurial finance course at the University of Illinois.
The best school in the world.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
But the thing is, you hear these stories over and over again, but you still glean new nuggets of information. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we should probably put out a warning here, though, Mary-Lynn. It's almost certain that your path to big success won't be exactly the same as someone else's.
No,
I mean,
won't.
There's going to be common challenges, but people often fall flat on their face because they think the exact same tactics will work for them. Your situation isn't the same as their situation.
And external forces that come into play can be different for you than they were for them.
Absolutely, because, I mean, among other things, you're not in the same period of time they were in. Maybe you were facing increasing or decreasing interest rates, and now we have increasing interest rates or whatever. So there's a lot of differences, but still, important lessons can be taken away.
From other people's stories,
Exactly right.
We're talking about 4 places to learn about success. Second place is to learn from your success. Whenever you reach a new plateau or goal, take time to reflect on what went right. Big goal getters, we tend to reach a plateau and then we're immediately thinking about the next one. So
Yes.
This is really important, just to celebrate the one success that you just had and to look at what the driving factors were behind reaching that goal.
And, just like before, we have a caveat. We don't have caviar. We have a caveat. I don't know how the two are related, but it just came to my head. So
actually, I prefer the caveat over the caviar. So
the same tactics that you use to reach this level of success may not take you to the next one. And this is really hard because, those tactics we use become like our little babies. They grew up and they helped us become a success. And now we're trying them all over again at a new level, and they just don't work. In fact, many times they impede your progress. So keep that in mind as you're discovering lessons learned.
The top 4 places to learn about success. Number 3, learn from your mistakes. Now, and let's be a little clearer about this.
Clearer.
Learn from your mistakes the first time you make them. 'Cause
yes.
if you make the same mistake twice, then you obviously didn't learn enough the first time around, right?
Mistakes are an opportunity to learn, but the opportunity can be wasted. So just like your successes, stop and reflect upon your mistakes. Ask yourself some questions. Only unlike reflecting on your success, ask these questions in the future tense to make it more palatable and therefore more productive.
Yeah, so I like what you're saying here, because you don't want to beat yourself up over the mistakes, and because then you may just get stuck.
Exactly.
So find ways to gently review your mistake.
Exactly, Mary-Lynn. And for example, don't ask, what did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. That's just such a negative, isn't it? What did I do wrong? Instead, ask, what would I do differently next time? Or if I were an advisor looking in on this, what would I advise myself to take away as lessons?
I see how you're working that future tense in to the way of presenting these questions to yourself, and how it's a much more positive experience. It's also important to take away the right lessons.
Yeah, maybe you gave something a try and it just didn't work out the way that you wanted. A lot of people will never try again, and that's usually the wrong lesson.
Yeah, and I guess one more thing is that you are going to continually make mistakes.
Yes.
So you don't want to be averse to making mistakes. I mean, you don't want to think, well, I'm never going to make a mistake again, because that's just not possible, right?
Exactly right.
Right. So this is a way to allow yourself to make mistakes, but the key is to not make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, so it's important to understand that it's possible that you will make a mistake, but you're not likely to make a mistake unless you focus only on not making a mistake.
All right. The top 4 places to learn about success. Number 4. Hey, we just got done learning from our own mistakes, but hey, let's learn from the mistakes of others too.
This is sweet success. You can reach big success faster if you don't have to make all the mistakes yourself.
Hear, hear.
It's much better to avoid a mistake by learning the lesson vicariously. Oh, I love using that big old word.
That is a big one.
Most people don't like to talk about their mistakes. Now, if you find someone who will, listen with all your ears. Both of them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you may also observe others making mistakes. Soak it all in, man. That's really an opportunity for you to learn so you don't make the same mistake yourself.
So today we talked about 4 top places to learn about success. Number 1, learn from the success of others. Number 2, learn from your success. 3, learn from your mistakes. And 4, learn from the mistakes of others.
Now, the best place to learn how to reach big success is any place that gets you where you want to be. It may be from a casual conversation. It may be from something you saw on TV or something you read. It may come from inside you. And yes, it may come from big success.
And that's big with 2 G's.
We just had to get that one in there, that one more shameless plug, right?
Absolutely.
And our point is that there are opportunities to learn hitting us all in the face day after day after day. All we have to do is stay tuned, and that leads to big success.
You can learn a lot from yourself, and it's a great way to determine what your next move should be. Do some self-discovery with our free life purpose quiz. You'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's, success.com.
And we thank you for listening today. A special big shout out to our listeners in Triadelphia, West Virginia.
Now, we're not sure if we're qualified to talk about our next topic, but we're going to do our best. Join us next week as we discuss the intelligence that drives results.
Wow, I hope there's not a test afterwards.
Yeah, me too, Professor. And until then,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at BIGGsuccess.com.